Hi, this is Mrs. Lee and Walter. This is the lesson for 2:30 on April 13th. So we're doing the volume of a rectangular prism. So in the video, you watched that the Sears Tower has a bundled tube system. And in the bundled tube system, there are three that go up to, or there are two that go up to the 50th floor and they stop. Then there are two that go up to the 66th floor and they stop. And then there are three that go up to the 90th floor and they stop. And then finally two go up to the 110th floor. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be finding the volume of each of these tubes and then adding them together so that we can find the total volume of the entire Sears Tower. So to find volume, what you're going to do is you're going to multiply length times width times height for a rectangular prism. So that's any shape that's like a 3D rectangle. All right, so in our case, all of the tubes are 90 feet by 90 feet and then a different height. All right, so for those first two that drop off at the 50th floor, we're going to do 90 times 90 times the height at the 50th floor is 646 feet. So times 646, and there are two of them that drop off there. So we're going to do that times two. All right, so that is our first equation. All right, so for our second equation, we're going to do 90 times 90. And then at the 66th floor, there are two more that drop off. So we're going to do times 692 because that's the height of the 66th floor, and then times 2. And then our third equation for the three that drop off at the 90th floor, we're going to do 90 times 1,200, which is the height at the 90th floor, times 3, because there's 3 of them. And the final two that go all the way to the top, we're going to do 90 times 1,450 times 2, because there's 2. So these are the 4 equations that you should get. Now, if I'm going too fast, obviously pause me and press play once you get it together. All right, so then what you're going to do, if you want to write it out, you can. If you want to use a calculator, you can. I'm going to use a calculator because this is a lot of big numbers. So 90 times 90 times 646 times 2. Okay, and I get a really big number. All right, and I'm writing it down. 104,65204. All right, 90 times 90 times 692 times 2, and I get another really big number. I'm writing it down. All right, next one, 90 times 90 times 1,200 times 3. All right, I get a big number, writing it down. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, last one, 90 times 90 times 1,450 times 2. And I get a really big number. All right, so now what I'm going to do that I have these 4 numbers, and I'll show them to you in a second, is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add them up. So these are the 4 numbers that I got in order to each of those equations, and now I'm going to add them up. So I get 4, 0, 6, 5, 10, 22, carry the 2, 6, 8, 12, 13, carry the 1, 10, 14, carry the 1, 3, 7. So I end up with the number 74,325,604 feet cubed is the volume of the Sears Tower, which is gigantic, right? For a period of time, it was the largest building in the world. Now it has been beaten, but it was amazing that it was here in Chicago. All right, so that's what we're focusing on today, is just finding the volume of rectangular prisms. So on the next page, they want you to find the volume or to draw a picture of 2 different rectangular prisms that the volume is going to be a specific number. So in this case, the first one says 24. Well, I need to think of 3 numbers that I can multiply that would equal 24. Well, I could multiply 2 times 3 times 4, because 2 times 3 is 6, and then 6 times 4 is 24. So Let's do 2 times 3 times 4. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to draw this as best I can. And then I'll label 2 over here, 3 over here, and 4 over here. Just like that. All right, next one, I need to have a volume of 12, so I need to think of 3 numbers that will multiply to give me 12. Well, 2 times 3 is 6, and then if I multiplied that times 2 again, I would get 12. So I'm going to do 2 times 3 times 2. So I'm going to draw myself a rectangular prism and label the sides, one side 2, one side 3, and the last side 2. Now, there are multiple ways you could do this. To get 12, you can multiply 1 times 3 times 4. You can multiply 1 times 2 times 6. You could reverse the order, however you want to do it. All right? Okay, in the next one, we're looking at some unit cubes, and we have to figure out the dimensions. Well, I can see it's 3 along the bottom, 2 going toward the back, and then 3 tall. So I'm going to go ahead and write those numbers in, 3, 2, and 3. And then I'm going to multiply them out. Well, 3 times 2 is 6. And 6 times 3 is 18. So that means my volume here is 18. And you should probably label it units cubed. Anytime you're doing volume, you're always going to take it to the 3rd power because it's a 3D shape. 3D shapes have 3 dimensions, so it's to the 3rd power. All right, over here, this next one, I see side to side, it's 2, and then 3 going back, and then 2 tall. Well, 2 times 3 is 6, and 6 times 2 is 12. So I get 12 units to the 3rd power. All right. So what I want you to do is I want you to keep going, finish out these 2, and then finish out the next page. After you do that, go ahead and take a look at the exit slip. I will have all the answers underneath the completed notes section, so check those out. All right, bye.